Did you know? Did you know? Did you know that Time Lords don't have prostates? Law! Hello, I am indeed alive at 4 o'clock on the dot this time. Welcome to Tardis Wiki Roulette. Hello. Best law, I agree. Best law indeed. Loser hand gesture. Good shit. I will put that on the wheel immediately. Hello, and welcome to Tardis Wiki Roulette, the show where we TARDIS a wiki roulette, the show where we spin the wheel and catch some feels, the show where me and my illustrious host, Alan, will be bringing you entertainment, frills, chills, japes, shrapes, follies, jollies, all those wonderful things. Yeah, I think it's best that we begin with No Future novel. Yeah, all right, I'll put that one in too. Very good to see you all once again. Hello, Aristide. I'm glad that you could make it. We should begin immediately. So let's go with Alan right now. Alan, are you ready to begin our festivities today?
Yeah, baby.
What's it gonna be first? What a start. What a start. Yeah, this is a... God damn it, Alan. I could tell that he's in a mood today. This is the weird guy, right? Yeah, this is the weird guy. He was on a show called Gimme Gimme Gimme. It's like a classic British comedy. About a gay man and a heterosexual woman living together, and he's also a massive transphobe, and he played a shit version of the Master on Big Finish, and then Big Finish rightfully booted him when it turned out that he was a massive transphobe. I know you lost $70. I'm very sad about that. I'm trying to keep this an oasis of calm away from all that, because I know a lot of people are very, very sad about what's happened over the last couple of days. I am very, very sad over what's happened over the last couple of days. And I think we all just need to play some roulette and try and find the joy in life again. Very sorry that you lost $70 though. British comedians try it. Your friend lost 1K? Oh my god. It's awful. I'm angry, livid. Yeah, I know how you feel. A lot of people are feeling that way right now. British comedians do have a real struggle being normal, though. That is very true. Let's see. Okie dokie. So, James Dreyfus played John Harrison in the Sarah Jane Adventures television story, The Man Who Never Was. Dreyfus later played the Master in an early incarnation in several Big Finish stories and the most exalted High Persian in The Cats of New Cairo. And then immediately goes to the controversy. That's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. Bernie put out a statement saying this happened because the Dems abandoned the working class. Bernie's a good egg. Bernie's, it turns out, is one of the goodest eggs. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but we're not going to dwell on it today. We can do that afterwards. We can do that before. But yeah, I don't think he is completely wrong because we're not going to go into it. No, she wouldn't. I know when this isn't complain about Bernie Sanders roulette. This is TARDIS Wiki roulette. We're not going to do it. We're reading James Dreyfus's article right now. On October 4th, 2018, The Times published a letter against Stonewall's backing of trans-inclusive changes to the Gender Recognition Act, for which Dreyfus was one of the 17 signatories. Dreyfus later denied being transphobic on Twitter. Following appeals to Big Finish to make a statement regarding Dreyfus, in July 2019, Katie Manning and John Dorney expressed their support for trans rights, and Elliot Chapman indicated that he would donate to Mermaids, a trans-supportive charity, the equivalent of his fee for The Home Guard, in which he co-starred with Dreyfus. In the wake of this, Big Finish released a general equality and diversity statement, acknowledging the fan concerns about several individuals and emphasizing their commitment to never wanting Big Finish to be a company that people felt uncomfortable working with or to produce content that people would feel uncomfortable listening to. Dreyfus tweeted Big Finish claiming that the reports of the transphobic remarks were misinformation, fiction, and downright lies. Very true, very true. The Virgin James Dreyfus versus the Chad Katie Manning. That's a good one, Najwin. That's funny. In April 2020, Dreyfus criticised a quote from trans writer Juno Dawson, in which she said that a lot of gay men were gay men as a consolation prize because they couldn't be women. Jesus Christ. Dreyfus was accused of taking the quote out of context and weaponizing it against trans people. Following the announcement of Masterful in May 2020, Dreyfus claimed in August to have been erased from history. You weren't invited back. You're not entitled to an acting job, bro. Sorry, my bad. Oh, God. He is a fucking loser. That's very true. James Dreyfus is a fucking loser. In early 2021, the Daily Mail reported on further transphobic comments that Dreyfus had made during a Zoom meeting, including the assertion that trans activists criticising J.K. Rowling were misogynistic guys in skirts. Dreyfus responded with a long Twitter statement denying being transphobic, despite liking of tweets claiming that many trans women are deluded men. By July, Dreyfus was openly clashing on Twitter with Doctor Who fans who were raising the misogynistic guys in skirts quotes in discussions and claiming that the quote was false. Can I just pause this for a second to say, whoever wrote this article did a fucking phenomenal job. This is incredibly, well put together and well sourced. This is nice. Loser, another page about this guy, seriously. You will note that the wiki page does not use the pronoun he. That is amazing. That is incredible work. Incredible work. This is the TardisWiki wiki is the best wiki. Trans rights, indeed. Indeed. J.K. Rowling. I will put J.K. Rowling on the wheel. J.K. Rowling. The one who loses. Is that a thing? It's not a thing. I feel like it's not a thing. I saw it hiding and I laughed. Okie dokie. I call this guy the twat master. That's good. That's good stuff. Is Ava Chris Tyson the Mr. Beast person? Is that the person, the trans lady who is a friend of Mr. Beast? Okay. I know very little about the Mr. Beast thing. I know next to nothing about it. I heard that he did war crimes, and I was like, this is too much for my gentle soul. And so I backed away, basically. Right, so should we spin the wheel again? Did we get to the end of the James Dreyfus article, or did I get through the middle of it? Let's find out. Go back to TardisWiki. I was through the middle of it. Oh my god. Mr. Beast as a name makes me have the same reaction as tenants to Mr. Bean. Mrs. Bean. Mr. Beast was secretly running the greatest show in the galaxy the whole time. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's pretty awful. You know what Mr. Beast's name makes me think of? The Antichrist, because I'm a devout Christian, as you know. Let's let's go on here. So by July, Dreyfus was openly clashing on Twitter. Yeah. Dreyfus's name was removed from the front covers of the Home Guard and the Psychic Circus in October 2021. Dreyfus tweeted that Big Finish were removing the name and image, although the image retained the aforementioned covers and the credit was still on the cover of Solo and Blood of the Time Lords. Dreyfus also claimed to have been erased for publicly asking Stonewall for a respectful debate, despite Blood of the Time Lords. James Dreyfus was like, debate me, bro. Debate me on whether you should have fucking rights or not. Piece of shit. Fuck this guy. By 19th of October, Dreyfus tweeted a screenshot of this wiki page stating that it was inaccurate and devoid of examples, despite the content in question solely consisting of statements that Dreyfus or others made, all cited to the source of these statements. The next day, Dreyfus compared the response following this tweet in regards to how Doctor Who related articles described Dreyfus to when Big Finish put out the disingenuous tweet suggesting Dreyfus was transphobic. Personal life, Dreyfus is gay, does not identify as cis, and chooses not to use pronouns. Doctor Who knows they have a wiki. Time Vortex versus $1 million $1 Time Vortex versus $1 million Time Vortex. Mr. Who. Okie dokie. Let's go on the wheel of names now. And get another article. Get away from this one. It's very good. It's really good. I'm sensing a pattern emerging with Alan's choices today. I know, very apt. That's very true. Let's take a look. Not Billie Eilish. Serena Taj once hummed Bad Guy but made no noise. Billie Eilish is a singer, right? I'm going to assume that Billie Eilish is a singer because they hummed it. And like, you don't hum a movie, right? Yeah? Sweet. Sweet. I'm locked in with culture. Billie Eilish sang Bad Guy, yes. Stop being shocked, I'm in my mid-30s. I don't know anything about anything anymore. William Eyelash. Cool. That's actually quite a funny joke. I'm going to guess that that's been used so many times that it's not funny anymore to other people, though. But that's a funny joke. Okay. let's spin the wheel again. You know, the funniest thing about that whole, like, embarrassing interaction is if I'd scrolled down just a little bit, I would have seen that, and I had to do that. I could have just worked it out from context clues. It's the really funny part. I know, Craig the Panda. I know. I did not think this one through, and it came back to bite me. Let's go. Yeah, baby. That's a cigarette, no. Okay. James Brown, yes, James Brown is a singer that I know. I saw him live once, and I'm telling you this, okay? He was supporting the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and that felt like a crime to me. That felt like an absolute crime to me. James Brown became one of the first musicians inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on 23rd of January 1986. Cool. You're all gonna write James Brown song titles in the fucking thing now. Red Hot Chili Peppers are quite good though. They are quite well. They're alright. They're an alright band, but like they James Brown, they should be supporting James Brown, not the other way around. They're alright. Sometimes. It's a tricky one with the Red Hot Chili Peppers because like they have really strong good points, but they have really strong bad points as well. So, you know. And they did, like, steal a song. And I kind of feel like, fuck them for that. Right, let's go. Yeah, baby. Floss. I think I know what flossing is. I've not heard good things about either of them, so like I kind of feel like it cancels each other out. I mean, like I've heard that Anthony Kiedis is a PDF file, so I mean, I don't know. I've not heard good things about James Brown either. But like every single musician from the 50s and 60s was a monster by like modern standards. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to like add that one up, I feel. Ahoy, ahoy, Soto. Isn't here. The Floss is dead. I know the Floss is dead. It's from like 2010 or some shit. Isn't that what they do in the Fortnite game? That's what they do in the Fortnite game that my god kid plays. Cause I'm an old man. They asked me to play it. I've played Fortnite 3 times, all of them under duress. Okay, and I liked the shooting aspect of it. I thought it was a bit clunky at first. I thought it was a bit of a like clunkier version of like some other things I've played. And but the building, I hated the building so much. I hated having that extra thing to think about. Didn't like it. That's my opinion on Fortnite. Didn't like it. My brain is too old. Too many extra tactical variables to think of. A visitor may have flossed at various selfie spots in Wonder Central. Why? What's wrong with this man's head? Why is his head like that? Curious. Anyway, why don't we spin the wheel? Yeah, baby. Peter Griffin. We will look up Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin was an individual who existed in one universe. Peter Griffin knew Jenny Everywhere, who had previously shifted to his universe at some point. When she returned, she offered a can of Gevity to him as part of an advertisement. Peter was not familiar with the drink, but stated that he got his money's worth after drinking it. Peter Griffin is a character from the American animated series Family Guy. 20th Century Studios did not give permission for the character to be used in Jenny Says Drinkevity. This is noted in the comic's introduction. In the Family Guy episode Meg Stinks, Peter is depicted as being able to regenerate with his lost hand, creating an evil clone of him. Retep. This is similar to the events of the Christmas Invasion, where the 10th Doctor lost his hand at Journey's End, where the hand similarly grows another version of the Doctor, although the version is not depicted as an evil clone. Peter Griffin is available as a skin in Fortnite. Right. We did indeed get Fortnite again. Yes. Retep is the villain in season 2, by the way. RTD told me. Oh, dude. Yeah, Trudeau. What are you talking about? Why are you guys still going? Alright, that's fair. Please continue. Doctor Who is a part of the Fortnite multiverse. So, what does that mean? What are the implications of Doctor Who being part of the Fortnite multiverse? That's what I want to know. Alright, let's take a look at the again. Don't we do that? Let's do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, baby.
Cyberman Ident Interruption TV story. Interesting. Let's find out what this is. Any other universe that's linked to it is canon, I guess, but we already knew that everything was canon. Fortnite is the one set after the nuclear disaster, right? No, that's Fallout. Fortnite is the one where it's the one that very small children and 30-year-olds play. I don't know. What's Fortnite about? It's like you all get dropped onto an island and you all have to shoot each other, but as well as shooting each other, you can also build little structures and stuff. And there are lots of basically they have skins, and they license out characters from lots of fictional universes that you have as skins. So basically, it's like a shooter where you can play as like Doctor Who or Superman or some shit. I don't fucking know the specifics, but that's what it is. And it has a very specific, like, cartoony art style, and it is sickeningly popular. Yeah, it's a shooting game, but Goku and Peter Griffin are there. Yeah, it was the one that started out as a zombie apocalypse game, but had a battle royale mode, which was more popular than the base game. I don't know, I just didn't enjoy it personally. It doesn't mean it's bad. It seemed very competently designed, it just wasn't for me. And welcome back to Fancy Doctor Who. Alright. The Cyberman Ident Interruption. The Cyberman Ident Interruption was an ident broadcast on 1st of July 2017 by the BBC, preceding the debut broadcast of The Doctor Falls, the finale of Series 10 of Doctor Who. Two versions of the ident broadcast were on BBC One and BBC Northern Ireland, while Wales and Scotland merely got the standard idents. Unlike the majority of standard BBC idents, and this ident, similarly to the Christmas idents, often feature DWU elements and in-universe gimmick of a Cyberman hijacking the broadcast. Duncan Newmarch presents a BBC One continuity announcement when a Cyberman bursts into the BBC studio. Newmarch exclaiming about the state of his door. The Cyberman inserts that he will instead perform his announcement and that Newmarch will be upgraded, proceeding to stun him. The Cyberman then delivers its chilling message: time is running out for the Doctor. Max Headroom incident reference. I know, a little, maybe, yeah. I think it's funny that this happened completely unrelated to the Doctor Falls, though. Because it's not like the Doctor Falls is a story about Cybermen attacking Earth. You know what I mean? So, like... Max Headroom was clearly an Auton. The video shown during the ident are of a group of kayakers in Killyleigh before momentarily cutting to a test card featuring a girl. It's test card F. The test card bears the name of the BBC channel which it was originally used, but being BBC 2 and BBC 1 Northern Ireland. I'll tell you what, this test card, this one here, right, it's the easiest way in the world to like make whatever you're doing like nightmare fuel. Just pop that on the screen for a couple of seconds. Suddenly it's analog horror. Well, it is eventually. The Cybermen will get away from that black hole eventually. Well, I mean, no, they won't. That black hole is getting sucked into that ship. Those Cybermen are toast. It's not escaping from the black hole. They're dead. They're super dead. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a better version of Fortnite. PUBG's a good game. I've played PUBG. Basically, what were we talking about here? Yeah, no, that ship got destroyed. I don't think that was the actual origin of the Mondasian Cybermen. Is reversing very, very slowly away from the black hole, but not... Oh, fuck! That's a good point. Okay. Okay, no, you're right. You're right, I did misremember that aspect of it. Maybe entirely Aristide. You got me there. Okie dokie. Oh, I don't think it's the origin of the Mondasians, but they make it out there eventually and head to Earth to take over the BBC. Canon preserve. Okie dokie. Well, why don't we spin the wheel again and see where it lands next time? Yeah, baby. Alan wants that. Okie dokie. There's an urban legend about the test card girl telling kids to harm themselves and others. I thought that'd be a pretty good basis for a Doctor Who story. That would be a pretty good basis for a Doctor Who story. We are looking at the thing about the sketch show. Yes, Craig. I don't think it's the origin of the Mondasians, but they make it outside there eventually and head to Earth to take over the BBC. I like that. I like that a lot. So my theory about that, I think what Moffat was getting at in the episode is that Cybermen are a social disease that just comes with humans, essentially. Like, where there's humans, there's always the possibility that the conditions will arise where Cybermen will emerge. Kind of like fascism, in a way. I thought that was, I've always thought that was the interpretation of that explanation for Cybermen, and I like that explanation for Cybermen. How many entries have we got on the wheel? 169. I'm such a child. There are 169 entries on the wheel right now. Bravo Moffat, indeed. It's definitely the cleverest explanation, I will say, for like Cybermen, because it means that you can have any origin point for them if they're just a thing that emerges like naturally. I like the idea. This is not something that's ever been said in Doctor Who, this is my personal headcanon. I like the idea that convergent evolution takes place on like a universal scale, and so everywhere around the universe there's different like basically human species like popping up. And I like the idea that like that's why so many places are just Space Britain, because lots of places just have a Space Britain. Because I mean, if lots of if lots of different places have humans, then of those places things are going to play out in a certain way, like species archetypes. Yeah, basically like species archetypes. That's I don't know, I like it as just like a natural phenomena, basically. I mean, I don't know, I just think that's the best explanation for like why in science fiction universes you have every species that's advanced as like humanoid, like Star Trek. I feel like people overthink it and try to have some kind of like they have to add an extra sci-fi thing into the mix to explain it. Like in Star Trek, like one species made every other species, and that's why like Klingons and humans and Vulcans all look the same, basically. And I just like the idea that it's convergent evolution. I think it's really neat and tidy. See, the idea is protective neoteny. A lot of species evolve on a universal spell to be anthropomorphic because the Time Lord space slightly favor species who look like them, not consciously. See, the only difference between what I'm saying and that is that there's no need for there to be an outside intervention, like making it happen. It would just happen. See, but wait, we have more sympathy, like humans being nicer to monkeys than to fish, and on a scale of billions of years it adds up. It does add up. We're talking about all the different Cybermen origins in the Doctor Falls, and we're talking about convergent evolution. Those are the two things we're talking about. Yeah, but they're not saying the Time Lords are consciously intervening. Time Lords are the environment shaping the entire universe. Oh, okay. Then, okay. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. It's really clever. That's really good world building. I like that a lot. And it avoids giving the impression that human is the natural pinnacle of evolution. That is true. I like it when the natural pinnacle of evolution is just weird clouds of gas with superpowers. That's the natural pinnacle of evolution. I feel like humans are just a weird interim step and should always be portrayed as a weird step. And there's no pinnacle to evolution, because I mean, like, if a big meteor like came and crashed into the earth, like one that was like 100 times the size of the one that hit the dinosaurs, the only thing that has any chance of surviving is like bacteria, and they're fucking tiny. So alien language, the lost dimension. I'll put those in. I will get to that. I do think it's interesting that how many things end up just evolving into crabs. I think that's an interesting phenomenon. But yeah, I still stand by my theory that like if we end up running into aliens in real life, like the chances are higher than zero that they're just going to look quite a lot like humans. Yeah, but evolution has no destination. It's entirely about how well adapted you are to environment. No, I agree. I agree with that. I'm not saying that there is a destination. What I'm saying is that because the best model we have for how a species would best adapt to is, I mean, a biped with 2 arms and 2 legs, compensating for more intelligence and the ability to, let's be frank here, reproduce really quickly and conveniently, and then still be able to like get away and escape from dangers. There's no reason to believe that wouldn't proliferate across other planets with similar ecospheres. I think it would have a lot of competition from other archetypes that didn't win out here, but like, I'm just saying the chances are a lot higher than 0. I'm not saying that every single planet, like humanity, like what resembles humanity is like what's going to be the first species to achieve like spaceflight, because I mean in some cases it could be like cephalopod creatures because the environment is better suited to them. In some cases it could be like something completely different. I don't know. But yeah, no, I do agree that evolution is not a destination. I'm saying that these patterns would repeat over time. And I mean, you know, I'm not an expert. It's just my theory. And it's a theory born from ignorance. We reproduce fairly quickly, sure, but remember how unusual we are. Childhood lasts so long that we need others looking after us before we're fully grown. I guess that's not advantageous to survival. Yeah, it's a trade-off though, because that's required for the higher level of brain development, and because humans are adapted to like survive as communal creatures, they're going to have individuals serving different roles and making that something that's like viable. And another thing to consider is like, in terms of a human reaching like viability to survive in the wild as an environment, they would only actually need like a few years. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that unusual. I don't think it's that unusual that like things going along that path would eventually find that like golden point that allows it to win out. It's that combination of being able to reproduce, being able to use other parts of your environment to your advantage, and being able to like coordinate, like kill shit. I don't know. I do think it's interesting to like think about that, and I do also think that we should spin the wheel. I mean, that's what we'd expect from. I don't know. I can't say with confidence because I don't know. But if other people know more than me, I'm quite happy to listen, as I always try to be. Macros are real. I don't think macros are real. I don't think that macros would evolve because the square cube law would crush them. They wouldn't be able to get that big. Perhaps, but humans being so fragile. Well, I'm not saying they would be human. I'm saying that they would follow like the anthropoid model. I sometimes wonder what aliens would think of Doctor Who, like how sentient AI would think of the Terminator. We would look at them as old racist propaganda movies. Doctor Who is like really, really like exo-racist. I mean, I wish that they would move away from it. Personally, I wish that Doctor Who was a bit like Star Trek, and alien races were treated more as like actual world-built factions with good individuals and bad individuals. You could still have like the Daleks be evil because they're fascists by design, but like why don't we have like a more fleshed out like Silurian faction? Ryan, you missed most of what I said. Where is it? If I missed most of what you said, I'm sorry, but I need to find it. You listen to the woke BBC propaganda passing Doctor Who off as fiction. What have we landed on? The show Dead Ringers. We just haven't talked about it in a bit because we've been talking about aliens. Which I'm fine with. You've got me for a bit today. Haven't really spun too many wheels today, but that's okay. But yeah, no, I feel like when aliens do come and we enter the glorious Galactic Federation that definitely exists, I think that Doctor Who is going to become very embarrassing very fast and is going to have a lot of catching up to do. I feel like Doctor Who has treated aliens with far more variety than robots. Yes. Yes, that is also true. Yeah, there's way too much xenophobic messaging. We do have quite a few episodes of decent messaging, but the show's format means most aliens you encounter will be enemies. And you can literally solve that, Soto, by like having just have a message. We're receiving a message from the government of the alien menace of the week, and they're saying that this one is like a rogue agent or a criminal, and the Doctor has to watch out because of this dangerous criminal. And then all of a sudden, the alien factions' actions are indicative of them as a faction and not of the species as a whole. And that scene would take up all of 2 minutes in a classic Who story that's like 80 fucking minutes long. That's all they would need to do. It wouldn't be that difficult. I don't know. It wouldn't be that difficult. Counterpoint. Think about how many racist movies there are about... How is that a counterpoint? I don't understand how that's a counterpoint. Very 90s Threat of the Week cartoons. That's what Doctor Who is! It's just that sometimes it's a bit more abstract and ambitious, but it is a fucking 90s Threat of the Week cartoon. Space racism will be called spacism, like misogynoir. Spacism. To the idea that when we meet aliens, we'll get better. I'm not saying we'll get better when we meet aliens. I'm saying that it'll get embarrassing really fast. When we meet aliens, we're going to have to learn a bunch of new, like, etiquettes and stuff. We're going to have to get a bit better. Not a lot, but we will get a bit better. Because we'll fucking have to. There are a lot of values we hold in the 21st century that won't age well. I agree 100%. But I don't think we should ever, like, use that as an excuse not to try to get better. We should always, always, always try to get better and try to do better. Otherwise, like, what's the fucking point? Right? Alright, Dead Ringers is a British radio and television comedy impression show originally airing from 2000 to 2007. The series returned to BBC Radio 4 in 2014. The show regularly parodies several incarnations of the Doctor. John Coleshaw plays multiple Doctors on Dead Ringers, most notably the 4th and the 10th. Phil Cornwell parodied the 9th Doctor in a sketch. In the spoof, Christopher Eccleston comes home to his family, die-hard Star Trek fans, and has to admit to them that he's going to play the next Doctor. And at the end of the sketch, he agrees to only do 1 year to appease his bitter relatives. I hope when the robot uprising happens, we don't find out about my opinions on generative AI. In another sketch entitled Christmas Day at Doctor Who's, the 10th Doctor discusses the problem spending Christmas with your past incarnations. The 2nd, 4th, 7th and 9th Doctors sit in front of the TV declaring several famous people such as Cat Deeley and the Queen as aliens. They give each other presents, mostly unwanted. The 10th Doctor brings out a turkey covered in tinfoil, which frightens the 2nd Doctor, as all his villains were made from... I have seen this! It's a funny skit. It's actually a funny skit. Will clankers be a slur during the robot uprising? Let's play some Nintendo Bone Some Chicks, a Nintendo ad. Is that really a Nintendo advert? Because, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That question will not age well. Toaster will? Do you think toaster will be a slur in the robot uprising? Oh god. David Tennant appeared in the sketch Tony Blair Regenerates from the series finale of the television show, where he portrays a new incarnation of an outgoing Prime Minister Tony Blair. More recently, the 12th and 13th Doctors have been parodied on the sketch series, sometimes together with their companions like Clara Oswald, Bill Potts, or Graham O'Brien. The Daleks have also made multiple appearances in the series, all the way back to 2000. Nev Fountain is one of the main writers for Dead Ringers. He and Coleshaw were credited together on Dead Ringers Meets Doctor Who, in which Coleshaw again played the 4th Doctor. Okie dokie, let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, baby.
Charles Bainbridge. Let's take a look. Yeah, I will say this, Darjawin. I will say this. I agree with your anger. I would not want to live in a red state over the next few years. It's going to be very difficult. Everyone. It's not your word? What do you mean? Oh. We're still talking about robot slurs? Okay. Charles Bainbridge was the chief inspector of Scotland Yard in the 1900s. He was an associate of Maurice Newbery and Veronica Hobbs. Bainbridge appeared in the Big Finish production Sherlock Holmes story The Reification of Hans Gerber, written by George Mann. He was played by Terry Malloy. He was shown to have a history with Holmes and Watson, having previously helped them with the mystery of the Persian tear. I don't get Xavier's joke. Yeah, so basically, so Xavier, basically, 3 million less people voted for Trump this time than last time, but 15 million people did not vote for Harris, but did vote for Biden. So, like, it's not that way more people that are Trump supporters. In fact, less people are Trump supporters. It's that the Democrats could not fucking get their shit together. So, I mean, it's their fault. They didn't run a proper opposition. They moved to the right on loads of issues and tried to run as diet Republicans. And, I mean, obviously the Trump is going to do what the Trump campaign does. Yeah, it's literally just a massive drop in voter turnout. I live in a blue state. I'm safe. I'm just livid at everyone that's been complaining the past 4 years and driving down turnout and creating bad vibes winners. No, I agree with that. I think that the left needs a lot more unity than it has. Part of why the right is so effective is because they understand that they need to put their like pet issues aside and move in lockstep with each other. But hey, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Lockdown, I suppose lockdown made people more politically engaged. That could be a part of it as well. That's very true. I don't know, it just didn't work out. I can't speculate as to why. All I know is that less people chose to vote Democrat, and That's like, the numbers don't lie. I don't know. Like, shit's bad. Shit's gonna get worse for like lots of people, and then I don't know. It's difficult, and I know it's really easy during these times to like feel powerless and feel scared, but really, like, the best thing that you can do is keep moving forward. Try to work on what you can control in your immediate vicinity, and just build as many community connections as you can. Make as many friends as you can. And try to help where you can. And yeah. I don't know. Encourage people to vote, not just during the fucking presidential election. That would help a lot as well. But to be completely honest, if we're talking like macro politics, what we saw was the death of liberalism. And if there's going to be a meaningful resistance to the far right, it has to be a left-wing one, not just a neoliberal one. Or we're fucked, basically. You got one more chance, or I doesn't bear thinking about, to be honest, and that's why I'm trying not to think about it today. Basically, everyone try to stay safe and look out for each other. Yeah, do your best to. I do think we should probably take another look at the wheel real quick, because it's difficult, man. Doesn't even feel like any political parties want to be left-leaning. Well, to be honest, I think what it really comes down to is that both parties are led by corporate interests, and that because of the Democratic Party having a stranglehold on like any form of like left-wing kind of organization, you're not going to see the rise of like a proper left-wing party, like a real left-wing party, until the current like ruling body of the Democrats like either loses power or leaves or ages out, essentially. I would say that trans issues are less of an issue in the US than they are in the UK, because at least in the US you can like yeah, no, I would honestly say that's the case, because in the UK there's like no real organization for trans people in the Labour Party, and in the US, like in the Democratic Party, there's like furious fighting and infighting about it. Trans issues shouldn't be a problem for anyone but trans people. Trans issues shouldn't be a problem for anyone at all. There shouldn't be trans issues. Trans people should just be able to live and operate as any other person. But yeah, no, I'd say the UK is very hosed when it comes to trans issues, though. Like, it's a bit shameful and a bit embarrassing how bad the UK is on trans issues, to be honest. It's saddening. I don't know. I guess the US must be getting better with conversations about trans rights. If, to be completely honest, like the average US person, like, is a lot more progressive than you would probably imagine. Like, I would say we know exactly how many people actually feel the way that you would imagine they would, like the average like kind of Trump supporter mentality, because they all like voted for the dude. But like most Americans are pretty progressive and believe in more progressive things than even the Democrats are willing to like put on their thing. Like, a lot of people were very disgusted with Kamala when like she basically bolted on like the trans rights issue when she was asked about it. And I'm really tired of trans people being used as scapegoats as well, because they're what, like fucking 1% of the population, and they don't bother fucking anyone. Yeah, I know, they talk about trans people like they're fucking mutants from X-Men. Like, you all have like, you each get like a crazy superpower. It's ridiculous. I don't know. But to be honest, it's a big reason why is because we're just seeing the end stages of capitalism, and a lot of these parties are led by like corporate interests, and the onus of corporate interests since like the 1800s has been you keep your workers divided by like picking out minorities within those workers and then stratifying along those lines. I guess I'm too much of a misanthrope these days. I expect very little from humans in North America. I mean, even at my moodiest, I am extremely idealistic and I believe in people and I love people, even when it's difficult. And sometimes it's very difficult to love people. But you have to. Because if you don't, they win. And I find that outcome unacceptable. I am hoping that even though this election is lost, it is not the end. Things are going to be more difficult, for sure, but I mean, they're fascists. Fascists are incompetent. Fascists always lose. It just takes a while sometimes. Yeah, anyway, we're going to spin the wheel now, because we've spent a while on this. Yeah, baby. Be safe, everyone. Wise words, Alan. The Great Depression. All right, let's go. If you have Twitter, delete it as well, because it's only going to make you miserable. I deleted my Twitter today, and I felt a pair of fucking wings sprout on my back. It was wonderful. The Great Depression, you didn't got it. Did I add it? I don't think I added it. I think I might have added it. Anyway, we have a thing to read now. Don't we? You've been banned off Twitter for 3 years. Respect. To be honest, I think I might just not use social media. The only reason I use social media is to like promote my YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel doesn't really get a lot of traffic from social media. It's all from within YouTube, so there's not really a lot of benefit to having one. I will shout out that I have a Twitch now. It is called Wild Magic. I will find it real quick. And I will be streaming tonight. I'm doing Baldur's Gate. So pop on and give me a follow. Even if you don't feel like watching, give me a follow. It will help me out a lot. I will put the link in there. Join in. We're going to have a good time tonight. I'm playing with my good friend Silas, and we're going to be doing a co-op campaign together, and I aim to be streaming 3 times a week on that, so you'll be getting 5 Ryan streams going forward. I will continue doing Tardis Wiki Roulette twice a week going forward now, Tuesdays and Thursdays, because it's very clear that there's enough on the wheel to justify doing that now. Right, let's go. There it is. There's my guy. Join me. Okay, let's go back there and then let's read this Tardis Wiki article. Okay, Parish Church of Odenholt. A church was located on Ruby Road in Manchester. In Christmas Eve 2004, a stranger came to the church on Ruby Road carrying a newborn girl. Just before midnight, she left the child on the steps of the church. As the stranger left the church, goblins attempted to steal the baby to eat her. In revenge for an older version of her and the 15th Doctor fought in their plans to eat Lulabelle in 2023. However, the Doctor, using his intelligent gloves, pulled the goblin ship into the church, impaling the Goblin King with the church's spire. As a result, the ship dematerialized, leaving the baby behind. The Doctor put her back on the steps and left just before the clock struck midnight. The doctor was then the child was then taken in and eventually adopted by Carla Sunday, who named the baby Ruby after the road she was found on. Most interesting part of the page is the behind the scenes section. I can't wait. The name of the church hasn't been shown in any officially published media, with the closest reveal being a sign outside the church in the church on Ruby Road, entirely in background shots. The name, the Parish Church of Oldenhort, was present on props seen in the episode, later shown publicly by assistant graphic designer Sophie Cowdery. Plays the Goblin song. Right. So, like, they put it on props, but it's not, like, officially been... That's weird. Because you would think they go to the effort of doing that, they would wanna. They would wanna anyway. Let's go. Let's go on the wheel. Maybe give it another little spinny spin, yeah?
Yeah, baby.
Scrooge! Let's take a look. Ah, why are you all laughing? Oh no. Oh no. Okay, let's play the game. Let's play bingo. Is this gonna be Faction Paradox? Is this going to be the War in Heaven? Is this going to be a Jenny Everywhere thing? Is this going to be one of you guys plugging your own book? Is this going to be a bunch of really, really long and complicated words, and it's funny making me read the long and complicated words because I can barely read thing? Which is it going to be? Let's find out. Let's spin the wheel, as it were. It's sort of a... Oh, no. How long is it? Not too long. Okay. How is it a bit of all of those things? Scrooge of House McBadger was the Archon president of the 507th Home. It was rumoured that Scrooge was not his true name, but the only alternative which had been... I'm really unimpressed with all of you right now. Was Aristide Twain, which was named preposterous. It was also rumoured by the Circle of the Innermost Archons that Scrooge was in fact a metafictional agent of the adversary, not here yesterday, and if they were lucky not to be here tomorrow. A. Twain wrote The Cactus and the Corpse, which was published in 2023 by Archbeetle Press. Which was published in 2023 by Archbeetle Press in Horrors of Archbeetle. Olivia Cag-Walderman cited it several times in her essay Love and War, a meta-historical investigation of the dawn of the Cosmic Revolution. Maritza would find this story in the Plume Coteries library while looking for something to read, but as it contained material about her, she knew it wasn't a good idea to read it. Walderman, in the self-same essay, also referred to any of her readers wishing to learn more of the Space Lords of Fractalax to Twain's works post-dating 2024. A further one of Twain's works cited by Walderman was The God Who Came for Christmas, again published by Archbeetle Press in 2023, but this time in the Book of the Snowstorm. Walderman cited it with regards to an old Britonic war god. Aristide wrote the article The Noodle Incident, brand new. The Noodle Man series launches with exclusive. I am at this point doing an ad read for you, Aristide, and I will continue to do it, but I hope that you appreciate that is what I'm doing from the bottom of your heart. Wrote the Noodle Incident, brand new The Noodle Man series, launches with exclusive Arc Beetle Crest crossover serial on April 1st, which focused on the upcoming The Noodle Man series, focused on the titular character, and announcing the release of The Noodle Incident, an introduction to the character. Aristide Twain was later credited with the Noodle Man Cometh, Noodle Man Realms of Noodle, Noodle Man Book of the Noodle, Genesis of the Noodles, Resurrection of the Noodles, Anti-Disestablishmentarianism of the Noodles, Nudion Noodle Docs, the Noodle Noodle Man Book 1, Down the Griddle, Noodle Man Book 2, Out of the Batter, Noodle Man Book 3, we had to split this one for length, Noodle Man Book 4, Noodles, and 10,000 Noodles. Pros, how to prepare noodles in several uneasy lessons. Scrooge wore a top hat, glasses and suit rather than the traditional ceremonial robes of the time of the Lords of the Morning Star, as by all account House McBadger was unique to his home world. In the real world, Aristide Twain was the co-creator of the crew of the Copper-Coloured Cupids. He also wrote and illustrated the short story Resurrection of the Author and edited Autun's Abecdarium, as well as being involved with the Faction Paradox and Probe series. Concert. Wonder what that is. Okie dokie. Let's spin the wheel again. Yeah, I do appreciate this important lore. Okay. What is it with today? For fuck's sake. I do appreciate the important lore, Cookie Boy. I would appreciate it even more, though, if you would all go and subscribe to Wild Magic at twitch.tv. That's Wild Magic at twitch.tv. It's a wild with an E and a magic with a K. Follow us. Follow. I'm not trying to get affiliate yet. I'm only just starting out. Just follow. Just give me the one that doesn't cost any money. That one. Just do that. It's fine. You know, follow me up. I'm only just starting it out. I've streamed twice so far. Do both. If you want to do both, you can do both. You can do that, but just follow for now. I only have like 5 followers on there. First goal is 10. Let's see if I can get an even 10. But yeah, I'm streaming Baldur's Gate today, later on, and I'm going to be streaming multiple campaigns of Baldur's Gate on there. So for the people who wanted to do the Baldur's Gate stuff, but we couldn't do it on this channel, we're going to be doing it on the Twitch now. So if that was something you were interested in, there's a place for that now. Thank you for doing your part, Najawin. I really appreciate it. Like, genuinely. I appreciate all of you. I think plebeians are forgetting to like this stream. Please like this stream too. Please like this stream. My dog needs food. Like the stream. But yeah, please follow on Twitch. I'd really appreciate it. We're gonna have a good time tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be playing with my friend Silas. It should be a good time. Slightly wilder time than on Something Blue Audio. By the way, if you restream.io, you can restream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time and merge the comments from each chat. That is pretty cool. I don't know about all that high-tech stuff. I'm just going to be streaming off my PS5 tonight, so it's all going to be very simple and low frills. But hopefully the same brand of chaos you expect from me here. Hopefully. So did we look up the last thing we did on this? Or not? No! Oh no! just remembered what we're looking at. I'm not playing for time at all. Alright, let's take a look at the Philip Schofield page then. Do this. Yes, as it should be. Doesn't have a page. Whoop whoop. It's wonderful. Alright, so I will get off there. And then come on to here. And then we are going to spin again. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Panda! We're doing the panda round again. I removed it by accident. Fuck, I'm putting it back on. So the way it works with panda, there's two pages we do this with. The panda page and the Hitler page. Because there's so much on them and all of it is so insane, we look at a little segment every time. So, what segment would each of you like to look at? That's the question I would like to ask right now on Tardis Wiki Roulette. We're going to be, we've got 19 minutes left on the clock. I'm going to try and start making these solidly 90 minutes from now on. Panda and Hitler, partners in crime. God damn it. It's funny. Alright, I'll take a look at, Panda's page then. We'll get off Philip Schofield. Panda. Right, which segment of Panda's page are we looking at? Actually, I'm going to look at his skills and abilities. I'm going to look at his personality and his skills and abilities. Undated events, notes. Alright. In retrospect, Panda considered himself to be pragmatic and down to earth prior to his adventures with Iris. He also found that being obtuse was, to him at least, one of the finest pleasures life had to offer. Panda was highly sensitive over his unusual composition, so when someone highlighted it, he would be scandalized. Panda often then threatened to punch whoever had insulted him. Up the hooter! Audio, Iris Balltime and the Panda invasion. He and Iris were best friends, with Panda even showing that he loved Iris. However, they were prone to arguing, which Panda claimed was an act they did for the sheer fun of it. During one argument over Iris's lack of interest in a cravat Panda had excitedly purchased, Iris had said that Panda was overreacting and was behaving like a precious actor. He had them thrown an empty bottle of Bombay Sapphire at her. Panda was in touch with his sexuality, despite being a stuffed toy, expressing a particular interest in Mida Sleek, head of Meow, who he thought was gorgeous, as well as having splendid boobs. Panda was also captivated by rotund stripper Miss Carmen Tranquil, whom he met at the Zona Oscura festival. He became devoted to her until she revealed she had no interest in him. Like Iris, Panda drank heavily and always carried a hip flask of whiskey with him, as he felt it kept him safe through dark times. Panda wanted to be a DJ for Radio 4 and was annoyed when the bus got messy. We do stand Panda. Hopefully at some point he gets some. Panda needs to get some. He deserves it. He's a hard working man. He's just a normal man. He's just an innocent man. Alright, let's spin the wheel. Yeah, baby. Oh. Wonderful. Iconic moment just occurred on Tardis Wiki Roulette. Alan. Let's find out what's on the wheel. What's on the Tardis Wiki. We found out what was on the wheel. What was on the wheel was, in fact, Alan. Alan. Disambiguation. Alan has several meanings pertinent to the Doctor Who universe and the real world. As only name: Alan, Christmas Invasion; Alan, The Dying Day; Alan, Lie of the Land; Alan, Rendition. Oh my god, how many Alans have there been? There's been a lot. Wow. This isn't an eventful page. Well, maybe you should make it one then. Alright, let's spin the wheel again. Yeah, baby. Hang on, we'll do super intelligence chip 5000 and I will add transphobia back to the wheel. Trans rights, by the way. I can't work out if someone's calling me in the next room or if my cat is just sneezing. So give me 1 second. I will put this in the chip 5000. I will put this in the thing line. Is that my cat? Eleanor? Eleanor? Okie dokie. It was my cat sneezing. Damn it, we almost got rid of transphobia. You had to bring it back. Untie rolling, it's over. FYI, if you're interested in trying Blue Sky, block is really robust there. It wipes out all interactions between you and the block person, and there's a culture of very free blocking. I might try it for my accounts for Wild Magic. Follow Wild Magic on Twitch. Somehow transphobia returned. I know. It always comes back. It's like a rash. Okay. Super Intelligence Chip 5000. The Super Intelligence Chip 5000 was an intelligence chip used by EIO. According to patients... I know I'm contractually obligated to read this by YouTube and by the social contract between me and you, the viewer of Tardis Wiki Roulette. I understand that as a result of that, I have to read this. But I don't have to be happy about it. According to patients' it was completely useless, containing out-of-date information. Doctor corroborated this, adding that he got its name due to it being 5,000 years old. That's quite a good joke. That's quite a good joke. It's fucking annoying how my mother listens to Rolling as she is the ultimate genius on the matter while ignoring trans people refuting JK's BS. I mean, yeah, that is very annoying. The deadly pronouns. Ryan says Doctor is peak writing. I didn't say it was peak writing. I said that was a funny joke, because it was a funny joke. It had a good setup, it had a good expectation, and then it had a good subversion. It was structurally a good joke. I didn't see it get delivered, so it might have got delivered bad, which would make it roll back around to being a shit joke. My mum isn't a full-blown as she is mostly left-leaning, but she's been caught up in the anti-trans fear-mongering. There's a lot of people like that, unfortunately. Remember when JK said Hermione was black after writing her in as the wrong for protesting slavery? But they like slavery! Oh, God. Harry Potter, what a fucking shit show. Fearmonger. I think that, all right, I'm going to give you a bit of advice as an advocate, as like a it's time for the cis white guy to offer his wisdoms to the trans community. No, hear me out though, okay? Largely left-leaning people who still like Harry Potter, okay? And as a result of still liking Harry Potter, might have a sympathy spot for J.K. Rowling. But beyond that, they're perfectly, like, conscientious left-leaning people. Here's what you do, okay? I'm going to tell you the secret. I'm going to tell you the fucking secret, okay? Here's what you do, okay? Put your energy into convincing them that Harry Potter is shit first. Pry away at that connection to those stories. Once you do that, you lean into the other stuff harder. It will work. It will work. The slavery thing with Hermione is actually a good thing to lead on. Because that's something that, like, everyone kind of has to get behind. You know what I mean? That's one that's very easy to explain to someone and they can't kind of go, well, you know, mental gymnastics to make it actually okay. Like, that's a very, like, kind of polarized issue. AIDS werewolves? The AIDS werewolves is a good one to talk about as well. I honestly, and this is probably the biggest indictment of, like, regular people, I think that you would have an easier time explaining the AIDS werewolf thing to someone than the goblins thing. AIDS werewolves, what is that? Lupin. He's talking about Lupin. In Harry Potter, being a werewolf is a metaphor for having a sexually transmitted disease. Oh yeah, the centaurs that it's unfortunate as I was formerly a massive Potterhead. So, me too. I'm sorry that you're dysphoric over it, but just remember that we all grow out of those shit books. I used to get called Harry Potter a lot too. It's not fun. I also got called Frodo Baggins a lot too. People weren't particularly imaginative with the names. When I was a kid, then I realized the Worst Witch is better. The Worst Witch is tremendously better, yes. I personally interpreted the house elves being indoctrinated, but that would just... They are indoctrinated. Yeah, no, they're indoctrinated to love their servitude. Yes. I just don't think that J.K. Rowling realised that when she wrote them, but that's clearly what's going on there. Alright, after the Starshed went through a pickle storm and wound up in the Levin Nebula, the ship was boarded by space bandits who intended to steal EIEIO Superintelligence Chip 5000, having heard it contained knowledge which would help them to take over the entire galaxy. After being ordered to open a flap, Patience presented a tray of oven chips, leading one space bandit to remark that they may need a memory chip as well. Doctor claimed to know martial arts, claiming that they'd never get past the impatience to steal the intelligence chip. However, when one of the bandits pointed the other way, claiming there to be a shooting star, the Doctor and Patience both turned away, allowing the bandits to steal the chip. The bandits hooked one of themselves up to the chip, though they only got a random assortment of useless information. Cabbages, jelly, trouser press, Wimbledon, catapult, horse, Amanda Holden. Patience explained that EIEIO wasn't actually intelligent, meaning that the chip was useless, with the Doctor agreeing and claiming it to have been a waste of the bandits' time. After the bandits left, EIEIO was left without his chip, with Patience realising that he was the only one who knew the directions out of the nebula. If I start criticising HP, it'll be a 180, which means to make it look justified, I'll have to reread the books to get my mother to see I'm not just copying it at people as she can go on about. I mean, like, she's just copying a fucking TV person. What's the fucking difference? What is the difference between internet people and TV people, except that more people watch internet people? Because it's better. You do not have to reread Harry Potter, though. Do not reread Harry Potter. Jesse Gender has some amazing Harry Potter. I agree. I think the Sean video is really good about Harry Potter as well. I mean, that one's pretty good. Doctor is a pre-Hartnell. Let's do one more. Let's do one more, and then we'll retire for the night. Yeah, until later. Singular they. I just noticed that the new norm is on there twice. I'm not changing it, by the way. Oh. Singular they was a set of personal pronouns, right? Widely used to refer to a singular. Is this just explaining how the they pronoun works? Is that what this page is? Because I support it if so. This is great. Fucking pronouns! Singular they was, in some cases, the only correct set of pronouns to apply to someone on account of the reference gender. And in others, an expedient and open-ended alternative to constructions such as he or she, encompassing any number of unknowns, avoiding presumptions, and allowing for ambiguity. You know, I just use they, them pronouns until I learn someone's actual pronouns, and then I switch to their actual pronouns, because then, like, you have the lowest chance of, like, upsetting someone, basically. Because I think it's just basic manners. And I've tried explaining this to, like, older people. Like, it's just manners. It's just the manners that, like, modern people have. Like, why do you have to be rude? Like, why? Why do you insist on being fucking rude? And if you frame it in that way, you'll get them to think for a second. Because they care about civility. They don't care about, like, whether something's right. They care about things being nice and neat and orderly. So if you act like them saying this shit is them being fucking disorderly, heaven forbid, dirty, then they will stop. That's brilliant social engineering. Thank you. Thank you. It's because I talk to a lot of older, like, right-wing people, and, like, I actually try to convince them around, and I've managed on some issues. Can never go all the way, because you can't reason someone out of a position they didn't reason themselves into. But you can make them better. When I achieve world domination, you're coming on mine. Thank you. I try to use they, them, but my head is annoying and sees typically gendered features. Yeah, no, mine does as well. That's a completely normal thing. Just try your best. Like, and that's something that, like, I think that's something that it's important to reiterate with, like, people who aren't necessarily comfortable with the pronoun thing is, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to try your best. And if you do misgender someone by accident, just saying, like, I'm sorry, I'll try to do better, will mean the world, and it's all you have to do. Because, like, you have to explain to them, like, it's not actually a lot of emotional labor to do the right thing. It's not transphobic if it's an accident and you're willing to change. Exactly. Exactly true. Exactly true. And I mean, you know, I've known quite a lot of trans people, and trans people tend to be pretty smart and understanding of that shit as well. Yeah, little things like that can help a lot. I don't know. How about your suggestion? I want to see your suggestion. Let me find it. Is your suggestion Doctor in Distress? Was that your suggestion? I will put Doctor in Distress on the wheel, yes. But yeah, the whole reason that transphobic rhetoric is so effective is because it frames trans people as, like, an alien, basically, because they can't really frame trans people as a threat in the same way that they can frame like racial minorities as a threat. So what they do instead is they try to other them as much as possible. So the solution to that is to just create pathways of behavior where it becomes normalized to people who won't necessarily have the opportunity to interact with like trans people in day-to-day life. Because like, I mean, a lot of it just comes from the fact that there just aren't a lot of trans people, so there aren't a lot of trans people to advocate for themselves. Yeah. No. Yeah, my kind of take on it. But I think most people are generally good people. I think most people are good people, but they're also kind of fucking stupid and gullible, basically. And they don't realize they're doing harm, in most cases. Let's continue reading this. On consulting at Stalgard, the sentient Encyclopedia Gallifreya decided that they-them pronouns were the correct terms to apply to the Doctor. Thought of generally, once they had regenerated into a new female form, it had been briefly considered changing each he-she in every entry to reflect the Doctor's latest identity, rather than revise all past entries to reflect each of the Doctor's new forms. However, it chose to employ each incarnation's respective pronouns when referring to them specifically, and continued forward with gender-neutral language in all other cases. The encyclopedia had already been employing they-them pronouns for the Master during the 12th Doctor's time. That's interesting. I would generally default to using they-them pronouns for all of the Doctors. It's convenient. Unless that Doctor is very, very specifically identifying as a man or a woman, and very, very specifically gendering themselves, I would generally go for like they-them pronouns for that. I think that's probably the smart thing to do. Indeed, those who knew the Doctor well, like Jack Harkness, the War Master, Missy, the Lumiat, Kate Stewart, and River Song, would sometimes employ they-them pronouns to refer to the Doctor generally, or when unsure of incarnation. Clive Finch, who had studied evidence surrounding the Doctor's many incarnations all his life, used they-them pronouns to refer to his hero. He described always wanting to meet them. When speaking of a hypothetical Time Lord, Braxiatel offered up he or she or they to cover all options without much further information. The 8th Doctor used they-them pronouns to refer to the Time Lord, most recently known as the 11, on finding out they had regenerated into the 12. The Doctor is woke. Not gonna lie, I could see 8 being non-binary if he was being introduced in the 2020s. I can see that. I can see that. Always has been. Doctor Who has pronouns. Woke mob brainwashed Time Lord. The Doctor is literally an alien. Yeah, he's an immigrant. Beyond the Time Lords, or a psychomorph with no fixed gender, use they-them personal pronouns, as did Mixed Neon, a trans-temporal museum creator, and Calypso Jones, 51st century human bounty hunter who is non-binary. A actually identifies sort of as non-binary. He says he isn't a man. When I use Time Lords, I'm writing them entirely as non-binary. That's cool. Where are we? The charismatic, manipulative Dalek ambassador was referring to them using the singular they. Let's make this stream 2 hours long. Oh. I mean, I wouldn't say no to the watch time. If you give me 5 minutes, I will give you an extra 20 minutes. How about that? How about we do that today, yeah? Special day. I'm going outside for a minute though, and then let's stretch my legs. Then we will continue for another 20 minutes or so. They transcend gender, then yet they are still gendered. Makes no sense. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Alright, everyone, time to leave. How long until the word woke appears on the show, you think? I feel like it's too late. I feel like that time has come and gone. I'll be back. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Stop keeping me here with your ideas and your thoughts, your dreams. Hello! I have returned. We're gonna do another 20 minutes or so. Try and hit that golden 2-hour mark. Hope we all had a good time while I was gone. We're talking about nothing, Ryan. That's okay. What is Hawk Tour? What is Hawk Tour? It's a gendered bathroom. Is that what it is? The new norm. What is going on? I need to know what is going on, like, now. What is happening? Why Time Lords and sometimes Time Ladies? Why not Time Liege, Time Ruler, Time Monarchs? Hawk Tour is a meme. Hawk Tour, cool meme. I'm going to look up Hawk Tour on another thing and we're going to see what it is. You're going to see me find out what this is in real life. Oh! Oh, like a... Oh, okay. Now I know what it means. I mean... That is the sound, so... Yeah. I would say that she got the sound right. There you go. That's my take on the... meme, is that she got the sound right. I never got the strongest. I don't get it either. It is kind of funny. Like, it did raise like a titter from me, but I don't understand why it would become such a big meme. Run. Oh god. Okay. Let's give it another spin.
Yeah, baby.
God. Oh, fuck's sake. We're moving on to less controversial topics. Oh dear. Here it comes. Stay away? Why are you telling me to stay away? What kind of coward do you think I am? The Black and White Minstrel Show was a television series created by caused by George Mitchell and aired on BBC One from 1978. Oh my god! Oh my god! It aired for that long? That's fucking awful. That's so fucking awful. Jesus Christ. On behalf of all white people, I fucking apologize. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell. Oh. They had live tours up into the 80s? I'm like actually viscerally angry upon finding out this information, man. Oh, it makes you want to firebomb an Asda in Minecraft. Oh. On 5th March 1972, an episode of the show crossed over with Doctor Who in an untitled sketch featuring an appearance by Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centauri is the Green Minstrel. Sir Lenny Henry was in a documentary talking about it recently. It was very good, not gonna lie, very eye-opening. I think it's really fucked up. I think it's really fucked up that the Doctor Who people did this. Did the Doctor Who people allow this, or was it just that the BBC grabbed the fucking prop? Like, what happened here? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? I don't, like, I'm so disgusted by this. I don't know. I think this is so fucking horrific. Really, really fucking sickening. Yeah, I don't know. Fucking vile. Anyway, I don't know. The character just shows up at the end briefly, so maybe just the BBC. Yeah, it's probably just a case of okay, good. Good. Jesus. Alpha Centauri is not an ally. That is very true.
Yeah, baby.
Christ, how soul-crushing. On to better things. Probably doesn't have a page, but that's okay. Still putting it in there. Nope, doesn't have a page. Oh well, time to spin the wheel again.
Yeah, baby.
Dalek Films series. I'm really curious now. What's this gonna be? Oh, I'm getting hiccups. Oh no. Not the hiccups. Dalek Films is a common fan term relating to a series consisting primarily of two films featuring Peter Cushing as Doctor Who, an eccentric human scientist who invents TARDIS, as opposed to mainline Doctor Who's The Doctor, typically depicted as a Time Lord, or at least non-human who stole the TARDIS at the time of the film's initial release. The Doctor was typically considered human across all media. Since release, the films had often fallen into a state of non-canonicity in the minds of some fans. However, later pieces of media have attempted to explain his coexistence with the Doctor in various ways. Additionally, TV Century 21's The Daleks ending attempted to follow into the second film, Daleks Invasion Earth. The films had also received various adaptations, the first being adapted into the comic Doctor Who and the Daleks, as well as the short story The Story of the Film, and the second being adapted into the comic Daleks Invasion a la Tierra Anno 2001-50. Elements of the film had also been integrated into not only occasional sequel stories but also parody series, such as Doctor Who and the Dark Dimension, both of which are set in parallel universes. Just coping, yeah. The first adaptation of Doctor Who and the Daleks, also titled Doctor Who and the Daleks, was published by Dell Publishing in December 1966 and was reprinted as Doctor Who Classic Comics 9 on 23rd of June 1993. The film was later adapted into the short story The Story of the Film in TV Century 21-28, published by the City Magazines on 31st of July 1965. Though no English adaptations exist of Daleks Invasion Earth 2160 AD, it gained a licensed adaptation in Argentina entitled Daleks Invasion a la Tierra Anno 2150, published by Editorial Columbia in El Tony Extracolor 400 with a cover date of 14th February 1978. Fans being cretins isn't something we usually document. So I like to apologize for my actions against black people. Sorry, I'm glad you apologized, Craig. I'm glad you're choosing to do better. It's a riff on You Can Excuse Racism. What's going on? I missed a few comments, clearly. Alpha Centauri says yes to racism and no to gender normativity. To be fair, like, I'm not saying to be fair to defend them, but I will say this. A lot of Doctor Who fans fall into that range. A lot of Doctor Who fans that I have met, and a lot of Doctor Who fan creators that I have met, have been racist as fuck. They're super progressive on everything but that. So it doesn't surprise me at all. I do maintain that the films weren't meant to be set outside of the continuity of the show. It's just fans are over literal and can't wrap their heads around fiction and retellings. The short story The 5 O'Clock Shadow depicted Doctor Who and his granddaughter Susan as fictional creations of the Doctor, designed to be versions of himself and his grandfather, free of all angst and strife, who came to life and ended up departing on their own adventures. To commemorate the 4K remasters of both Doctor Who theatrical films in 2022, Doctor Who magazine published the comic story Doctor Who and the Mechanoids, featuring Doctor Who and Susan's encounter with the Mechanoids, who were originally introduced in The Chase, the first televised Dalek story. Third televised Dalek story. Right, let's do one more. Ryan, are you an alpha male? You fucking know it, baby. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, baby.
Don't sit too close to the screen. Unproduced TV story. Okie dokie. Haven't you seen Alpha Centauri play the maracas? I have not. Forget alpha males, I want alpha females and alpha NBs. Me too. Alpha NBs, rise up. Don't Sit Too Close to the Screen was an unproduced story written by Joseph Lidster. The story was intended as the third and fourth episodes of Series 4 of the Sarah Jane Adventures, a slot that was ultimately filled by Phil Ford's The Vault of Secrets. The story would have functioned as an alternative departure story for Luke Smith, with various details being reused in Lidster's replacement story, The Nightmare Man. The story would have also introduced new characters in the form of Carla Langer's new boyfriend and his daughter, and explored how Clyde coped with them moving in. After visiting Oxford, Sarah Jane and Luke returned to Bannerman Road. Luke, at Sarah Jane's suggestion, decides to stay over at the Langers. There, Clyde and Carla are there with Carla's new boyfriend and his 7-year-old daughter. Staying the night. The next morning, Luke notices the young girl watching television like she's entranced. Luke and Clyde see that the characters in the children's program are talking directly to the girl. This is cool. Plot twist, Ryan turns into a werewolf for some reason. I want chi females. Oh dear. Watching a television news report, suddenly the newsreader addresses Sarah Jane directly, threatening her not to get involved or the children will be destroyed. They reveal themselves as a race of aliens living within electricity and can control any electrical output. They are harnessing electrical impulses in children's brains through the television program. The ultimate aim of the aliens is to rid Earth of humanity in order to live in electricity without interference. Was it because the Force penetrates you? It is up to Luke to save the day. Through the course of the story, Sarah Jane is reassured that Luke will cope well at university. Clyde agrees that Carla's new boyfriend and his daughter can move in, and Rani begins to focus more on journalism and prepares herself for a career after leaving. Penetrates every living being. Force dildo when? That is the real question. Asking the real question. You are killing me, yes. The Force is into pegging? I would imagine so, yes. That's what lightsabers are. They're an elegant weapon from a more civilized age. Oh, one more. We gotta hit that 2-hour mark, people. We've got 8 minutes left. Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
What is with today? Alan is pissed today. I tell you what. It is interesting, the pattern of things that Alan is selecting. I think he's doing a little protest. I think Alan's mad about the election, and who can blame him? Alan isn't bigoted. Alan is complaining about bigotry. He's using his power as the wheel to, like, bring light to these issues. Alan is an ally. I promise. Why are you oh-knowing? MAGA got him. MAGA did not get Alan. Alan is a reflection of us. We put these issues on him. That is true. It's Jova. Chat is Alan is Forspawn. Xenophobia was the fear and or hatred of strangers, foreigners and aliens. On Skaro, Ian Chesterton recognised that the Daleks were intensely xenophobic, describing their hatred of the Thals as a dislike for the unlike. in the Unbound universe after his first batch of Daleks, later dubbed the Renegades, turned on him. Davros altered the genetic makeup of subsequent generations to be loyal to him. To his disappointment, this came at the cost of the Daleks' indiscriminate xenophobia and aggression. 21st century author H.P. Lovecraft was notorious for his xenophobic views. He was particularly disgusted by Calypso Jones, calling them a mongrel, earning him a punch from them. That's cool, I guess. The Seventh Doctor described the 1950s as the height of American xenophobia as a result of the Cold War. Xenophobic views towards the Welsh was known as Simrophobia. Oh no, we're secretly a far-right group. These are streams of a sinister kind. That's right. At one end of the pipeline is Nick Fuentes, and at the other end of the pipeline is Tardis Wiki Roulette. Where you think you're having a nice, fun, slightly progressive tinged hour of comedy, but I'm actually turning you into a neo-Nazi. Yeah, looking it up, it seems to just one script. I remember reading that RTD reused the rest of the series 5 ones. Not really sure where I got that info from. Well, I mean, to be fair, maybe RTD just lied. Maybe he exaggerated and said oh, we used all the scripts, but he actually only had one script. Chris Ed Richards made a remark to Mateusz Andrzejewski that he should get back to his home country of Poland, and that he was unwelcome in the United Kingdom. In the year 200,000, the Jagrafest manipulated humanity into becoming increasingly xenophobic. The Interminorians became xenophobic after the Great Space Plague, which had been brought to their home world, Interminor. In the late 22nd century, a political group called Earth United was created by xenophobic humans to prevent aliens from reinvading Earth after the Dalek invasion. The human colony of Earth was intensely xenophobic towards anyone from outside their settlement. We're not there yet. We've all... Oh, no. Alright, let's do one more.
Yeah, baby.
We've almost made it, people. Almost landed on transphobia there. Oof. Grr, miners, Blitzway. Okay. Leela Krishnan was a woman who lived in Abu Dhabi and frequently purchased stuffed animal toys handmade by Rose Noble. She was obsessed with gonks, and her email address was leelakrishnam@senetnet.co.ae. One delivery of toys for Layla arrived prior to 18th of November 2023, and soon after she sent Rose an email thanking her for her careful packaging and how all her friends in Fujairah and Dubai love them, adding that her father applauded Rose's imagination. She also stated that she would want to place another order in the new year, and concluded by wishing her and Donna a happy Christmas. Can't believe the novelization just doxed her. Turns out that's a real woman's email address. That same month, when Donna Noble entered Rose's shed to remind her to do the bins and subsequently discovered the Meep, who was pretending to be inanimate, Donna went on a tangent about how Rose could sell the Meep to her for double the amount she usually charged to Layla. We've almost done it, people. We're almost at 2 hours.
Yeah, baby.
Haha, late spin! What was it? What was it? Oh no. I have a bad feeling about this one. Okie dokie. Kine Weekly, a magazine, existed in 1965. In an account, doesn't Kine sound like something really dirty? Sounds like something that would like involve furries to me. In an account dated to 1963, 3 issues of the magazine were present among MI5 agent Captain Blacker's documents aboard his yacht. Other sources dated the activities of international rescue. Oh, it's fucking Thunderbirds! Cunt Weekly. Oh, yeah, that is what it sounds like. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
baby.
The Mystery of Edwin Drood. It's the mystery of the Droods. Yeah. Good video. I will add that to the wheel really quickly. Radio Times. Radio Times has been added to the wheels. You just got Thunderbirds to... Oh, God. Okay. The Mystery of Edwin Drood was a novel on which Charles Dickens was working at the time of his death. In Cardiff on Christmas Eve 1869, Dickens told the Ninth Doctor and Rose that it lacked an ending, inspired by their adventure with the Gelth. Dickens decided to incorporate the aliens into the story in order to spread the word about the existence of alien life, proposing to make the killer in the book not a boy's uncle but something not of this earth. He further hinted that he might change the title to The Mystery of Edwin Drood and the Blue Elementals. He died the next year. While in the middle of writing a sentence in the novel, it remained unfinished. In 1936, James Whale began directing a film adaptation of The Mystery of Edwin Drood, commissioned by Faction Hollywood. With Michael Brookhaven as the film's consultant producer, Faction Hollywood used the film stage as a physical embodiment of production hell to imprison actors, producers, and other movie industry individuals. The story featured a character named Rosa and a tomb-searching church warden named Durdles. Betty Davis was briefly cast as Rosa in 1938, and even decades later the name Durdles would scare any character actor old enough to remember the production. James Whale left a copy of the novel by his bedside when he committed suicide in 1957. 3 endings were known to have been recorded, but with the middle parts left unfinished, the film continued its production hell into the early 21st century. You want me to add furry to the wheel? I can do that. I can do that. The people demand furry. The Doctor docks the silence, to be honest. That is true. Right. So, we have reached the end of our journey today on TardisWiki Wiki Roulette. However, I will be back in, I think, an hour, 2 hours maybe, soon. I'll be back real soon on Wild Magic at twitch.tv. We'll put it in twitch.tv/Wild Magic. So join me then. And if not, good night. But I will catch you soon. Very soon. But I'm going now. Bye! Just kidding. I'll catch you all later on. Bye-bye!